This is English shorthand dictation number 49 and the dictation speed is 140 words per minute. Ready? Start. In the Lok Sabha, the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker are elected from among its members by a simple majority of members present and voting in the House. As such, no specific qualifications are prescribed for being elected the Speaker. The Constitution only requires that Speaker should be a member of the House. But an understanding of the Constitution and the laws of the country and the rules of procedure and conventions of Parliament is considered a major asset for the holder of the office of the Speaker. The election of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha is an important event in the life of the House. One of the first acts of a newly constituted House is to elect the Speaker. Usually, a member belonging to the ruling party is elected the Speaker. However, a healthy convention has evolved over the years, whereby the ruling party nominates its candidate after informal consultations with the leaders of other parties and groups in the House. This convention ensures that once elected, the Speaker enjoys the respect of all sections of the House. There are also instances when members not belonging to the ruling party or coalition were elected to the office of the Speaker. Once a decision on the candidate is taken, his name is normally proposed by the Prime Minister or the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs. If more than one notice is received, these are entered in the order of receipt. If it is a newly constituted House, the Speaker pro tem presides over the sitting in which the Speaker is elected. If the election falls later in the life of a Lok Sabha, the Deputy Speaker presides. The motions which are moved and duly seconded are put one by one in the order in which they are moved, and they are decided, if necessary, by division. If any motion is carried, the presiding officer, without putting the latter motions, will declare that the member proposed in the motion which has been carried has been chosen as the Speaker of the House. After the results are announced, the Speaker-elect is conducted to the chair by the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition. He is then felicitated by leaders of all political parties and groups in the House, to which he replies in a thanksgiving speech. From then, the new Speaker takes over. In the Lok Sabha chamber, the Speaker's chair is distinctively placed, and from his seat he gets a commanding view of the entire House. Insofar as the proceedings are concerned, he is guided by the provisions of the Constitution and the rules of procedure and conduct of business. In Lok Sabha, he also benefits from the directions issued by his predecessors, which are compiled periodically. Besides, he is assisted by the Secretary General of the Lok Sabha and senior officers of the Secretariat on parliamentary activities and on matters of practice and procedure. In the absence of the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker discharges his functions. A member from the panel of chairpersons presides over the House in the absence of both the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker. The Speaker has extensive functions to perform in administrative, judicial, and regulatory matters falling under his domain. He enjoys vast authority under the Constitution as the conventional head of the Lok Sabha and as its principal spokesperson. The Speaker represents its collective voice. Of course, he is the ultimate arbiter and interpreter of those provisions which relate to the functioning of the House. His decisions are final and binding, and ordinarily cannot be questioned, challenged, or criticized. The final authority for adopting rules for regulating its procedure rests with each House, but a perusal of the rules of the Indian Parliament would indicate that the presiding officers in the two houses are given vast powers by the rules. It is the presiding officer who decides the admissibility of a question. It is he who decides the forms in which amendments may be moved to the motion of thanks to the President's address. With regard to moving amendments to a bill, the permission of the chair is required. If a bill is pending before the House, it is the Speaker who decides whether he should allow amendments to various clauses of the bill to be moved or not. As regards regulating discussions in the House, it is the Speaker who decides as to when a member shall speak and how long she or he shall speak. It is left to the Speaker to ask a member to discontinue her or his speech, or even decide that what a particular member said may not go on record as part of the proceedings. If he is satisfied, the Speaker can direct a member to withdraw from the House for a specific period of time. A member who flouts his orders or directions may be named by the Speaker, and in such cases the member may have to withdraw from the House. The Speaker is the guardian of the rights and privileges of the House, its committees and members. It depends solely on the Speaker to refer any question of privilege to the Committee of Privileges for examination, investigation and report. It is through him that the decisions of the House are communicated to outside individuals and authorities. It is the Speaker who decides the form and manner in which the proceedings of the House are published. He also issues warrants to execute the orders of the House wherever necessary, and delivers reprimands on behalf of the House. The entire parliamentary estate is under the authority of the Speaker. When a decision of the House is to be ascertained on a motion made by a member, the question is put by the Speaker before the House to obtain the decision. On questions of points of order, it is he who finally decides whether the matter raised is in order or not. The Speaker also has certain residuary powers under the rules of procedure. All matters which are not specifically provided under the rules and all questions relating to the working of the rules are regulated by him. In exercise of this power and under his inherent powers, the Speaker issues from time to time directions which are generally treated as sacrosanct as the rules of procedure. On matters regarding interpretation of constitutional provisions relating to the House or the rules of procedure, he often gives rulings which are respected by members and are binding in nature. Under the Constitution, the Speaker enjoys a special position insofar as certain matters pertaining to the relations between the two houses of Parliament are concerned. He certifies money bills and decides finally what are money matters by reason of the Lok Sabha's overriding powers in financial matters. It is the Speaker of the Lok Sabha who presides over joint sittings called in the event of disagreement between the two houses on a legislative measure. As regards recognition of parliamentary parties, it is the Speaker who lays down the necessary guidelines for such recognition. It is he who decides on granting recognition to the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha. Following the 52nd Constitution Amendment, the Speaker is vested with the power relating to the disqualification of a member of the Lok Sabha on grounds of defection. The Speaker makes obituary references in the House, formal references to important national and international events, and the valedictory address at the conclusion of every session of the Lok Sabha, and also when the term of the House expires. Though a member of the House, the Speaker does not vote in the House except on those rare occasions when there is a tie at the end of a decision. Till date, the Speaker of the Lok Sabha has not been called upon to exercise this unique casting vote. The committees of the House function under the overall direction of the Speaker. All such committees are constituted by him or by the House. The chairmen of all parliamentary committees are nominated by him. Any procedural problems in the functioning of the committees are referred to him for directions. Committees like the Business Advisory Committee, the General Purposes Committee, and the Rules Committee work directly under his chairmanship. The Speaker is at once a member of the House as also its presiding officer. It is always the Speaker's task to ensure that parliamentary decorum is maintained under all circumstances.